T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today it's Sunday. With me, as always, is Mad Matt from Mad Matt's Mask. What is up, my friend?
Michael, good to see you, buddy. Very good to see you, my man. And, we got a tier chart going on, and I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to disagree with you, man. It's like, why fight it anymore? We're never going to see eye to eye. It is what it is. So, man, let's get it on. And yeah, it's Sunday. This horror community that we've got together is just nothing short of amazing. I love all you guys, and yeah, man, I'm ready to dive into it, buddy. Glad to be here, Michael.
Sweet. And speaking of great people we have, let's see who we got in the chat tonight. Jerry Wilson is here saying, hello all. I hope everyone is well. What is up, Jerry? Another Patreon member there, Jerry.
Yeah, good to see you, Jerry.
Lydia's in the chat saying, Heidi ho, officers. What is up, Lydia? One of my mods in the chat, also a Patreon member. What is up, Lydia?
Hello, Lydia. Hello, welcome.
Jen Warner's in the chat saying, hey, everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I couldn't have said it better myself. What is up, Jen?
Yeah, that's awesome. Hello, Jen. Welcome.
Polar's in the chat saying, happy Sunday, all. Polar, another one of my mods. Happy Sunday. What is up, Polar?
Polar, always good to end the week talking with you, my friend, about some good old-fashioned horror. Good to see you, Polar.
Jeff DeAngelo's in the chat saying, hello, everyone. What is up, Jeff? Good to see you, bud.
Boy, Jeff, you're my boy. Great to see you, buddy.
Let's see. Who else do we got? Rochelle's in the chat saying, hi, everyone. What is up, Rochelle?
Nice to see you on here, Rochelle. Hopefully I get to meet you in person sometime soon. I've heard a lot about you. Welcome.
And James has entered the chat. The Shape is in the chat saying, hi, everyone. I hope you all had a nice day. What is up, James?
James, I had a great day. Most of it spent, talking with you, my good buddy, but great to see you on here, James. The Shape, a.k.a. The Shape.
Derpiest of Derps is in the chat saying, hi, everyone. How you all doing? What's going on?
It's great to have you here, my friend. Great to have you.
Brittany Winnen's in the chat saying, hey, fellas. What's up, Brittany?
Hello, Brittany. Great to see you on here.
Brandon from I Like Scary is also in the chat saying, hey, guys. What is up, Brandon?
Brandon, it's great to see you on here. Yeah, man. Good to see you, buddy.
FYI, Brandon's making a fan film called Halloween Lives. I cannot wait to check that one out.
I've heard a lot about that, and I have no doubt he's going to kill this.
Hopefully we can get some support on this channel. I definitely want to put his Indiegogo down in the chat, and I will make sure I do that. I will pin that down there. I know that our fan base loves Michael Myers, and
yeah.
He's going to do some things with that, and I definitely want to show our support as much as we love fan films here too. And we love The Shape. definitely check out his Indiegogo. He's just getting started over there. Definitely want to support Brandon, not only because it's Halloween. Brandon's a good friend of the show, and on top of that, he's local for us. That's local. That is in the Southern Ohio area, to where we definitely want to show support for that.
Absolutely. And what I can say, Michael, to add to that, I haven't got a chance to, talk to Brandon much about that, but I can tell our chat and our group that who love Michael that this movie is in good hands. Like, I don't know Brandon that well, but I know for a fact he is a Michael Myers Halloween fanatic and true fan. So I have no doubt we're going to see that in his film. So yeah,
definitely. And this fan film is going to get the full support from our channel. And then when it comes out, we're going to watch it. You guys know that's coming for sure. Kim is also in the chat saying happy Sunday. I hope everyone had a great day. What is up, Kim? Happy Sunday.
Great to see you on here, Kim. Great to see you. I'm not sure if she was on last Sunday. I might have a bone to pick with her about that, but good to see you.
Hey. John is also in the chat saying, hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, John? What is going on?
Great to see you, buddy, as always.
And Lydia already on the ball saying Brandon's Halloween fan film Indiegogo can be found here. Lydia has the link in the chat. Let's go ahead and check on that as soon as this show is over. And check out, he's got some good perks in there that you guys may want to get to support this great fan film coming out. Definitely. Jamie Hart is also in the chat saying hello. What's up, Jamie?
Hello, Jamie. Welcome.
Jeff is also saying Kaylee says hello, everyone. What is up, Kaylee?
Yeah, Kaylee, love you, girl. Great to see you on here. Hope you're having a great weekend.
Brandon also saying, hell yeah, Michael, and thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, bud.
Absolutely.
Glad you're hanging out here.
Absolutely.
We need to get Brandon on the show to talk some Michael Myers soon.
We do.
Brandon, I'm gonna definitely get a hold of you about that one for sure.
I support anyone on here that's gonna, that's a true Myers fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Team up on Michael on some Jason BS. Like, yeah.
Anyway, the Shape is in the chat. The Shape is back in the chat saying, can't wait to get those Rob Zombie Michael Myers coveralls, Matt. I'm so pumped to get them.
Man, James, I hope I don't let you down, buddy. I'm gonna do my best to get those patches on there, get the coveralls looking as screen accurate as possible. I'm no professional, but I'm gonna do my best, man, and I hope you're pleased, buddy. I know James has been wanting these guys, Michael Myers coveralls, or I'm sorry, Rob Zombie's Michael Myers coveralls, since I've met the guy, and this has been a couple years now. So yeah, I feel like we're a few weeks away from getting these on James, and I can't wait.
All I ask is I can be there when he gets them on for the first time. So you're gonna have to let me know. I gotta see the Shape wearing his outfit for sure. Definitely gotta see that. Jeff is also saying we are enjoying the weekend, celebrating both of our birthdays. Happy birthday, Jeff, and happy birthday, Kaylee. Definitely happy birthday, my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday.
See, Karen Stevens is in the chat, but saying, hey, it's Landon. What's up, Landon?
Nice. Landon, you have been absent, and I have missed you. My friend. But I'm glad you're back, and welcome, buddy. Welcome.
Lydia is also saying, if you would like to support the show, please join Patreon and partake in the additional content. And she leaves the link up there. See, our mods are so much better at this than I am. But speaking of Patreon, I do want to give a shout out to my Patreon members. Like we do every show, if you want to see your name up on the screen, just like my Patreon members do, check us out at Patreon. Lydia has put the link in the chat, but for right now, let's give a shout out to all our Patreon members right now. Now I know they can't see you when that's up on the screen, Matt, but I can see you back there. I see what you got going on back there. Matt, definitely digging the tunes as always, my friend, for sure.
Oh man, okay. Noted.
Let's see. So we got quite a few movies to go through today, for sure. You know, we're doing Chucky Child's Play. We're doing all those. We're gonna put up on the tier chart. Scream, and I know I got my Scream fans definitely in the chat. And we're also going through the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 3 movies that are very different from each other, but I'm definitely looking forward to putting these up on the tier chart.
Michael, I don't mean to stop you, but it's funny that you said Chucky Child's Play, because that's almost how you have to say it to a lot of people.
Yeah, dude.
You know, you do, because sometimes you'll say Child's Play, people just look at you like, even people that love Chucky, they'll look at you like, what, dude? You say Chucky, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, Chucky Child's Play. I'm gonna start using that.
It's tough. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, I always want to say Child's Play, but I know that the later movies, it went into Curse of Chucky, Pride of Chucky, and it just became different, kind of like Friday the 13th in a way.
That don't really recognize the name Child's Play. They just know Chucky,
Well, you know, the purist that I am, I always tend to lean towards the earlier movies, with a lot of things.
Right.
So it was always Child's Play to me, but from hanging out, talking to you, hanging out at your store, it's always like Chucky, 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 Chucky. You know what I mean? And a lot of people know it is Chucky. So I definitely throw both of those in there for sure. Like it's kind of split, almost down the middle with that. Sure.
And yeah, I'm glad you see that too, because like even for myself, being at the store has taught me so much. Like, oh my god, and I don't want to even get on the rant of how many horror fans are out there that know 10 times more than I do. And when I opened that store up, I thought I was like the king of horror. Like, yeah, man. And then, no, dude, I'm a peon.
I think that a lot of people are, but I think we talked about it a little bit before. It's almost like there's so much to do with horror movies that they're kind of broken down into, like, whichever you're the most a fan of, you tend to know the most about, right?
Sure.
So and there's so many people that like different types of horror. You got slasher horror, you got the paranormal horror, you got monster movies, all classified under horror. And some people know more about the monsters, some people know more about the slashers, and then even slashers, it's broken down into people have their favorite slasher, that they could tell you all day about, but maybe they didn't like something with this, so they don't know. It's tough, man. You're not going to find anybody that can just write down the list of everything. It's definitely tough. It is definitely tough. But Mad Mom, aka Teresa Stevens, is in the chat saying, hello, everybody. Happy birthday, Jeff. Hello, Mr. Landon. We missed you. What is up, Teresa?
Yeah. Hello, mother. Hello. And happy birthday again, Jeff and Kaylee. That's a double birthday there. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Polar is saying Child's Play, OG all the way, I agree with you on that one. Pretty good with that.
Hard to deny.
Wayne Turner's in the chat saying, hi all, it's 10:41 a.m. Monday here in Sydney, Australia. What is up, my Australian friend? Wayne is in the chat.
Good to see you. Welcome, Wayne. Welcome.
All right, and I think that we are caught up in the chat. We got a lot of conversations going on between everyone, which we love in the chat for sure, but Matt, I'm kind of thinking that we throw this intro up and we get this started since we got so many movies to go through today.
Yeah, and I'm
ready to do that?
I'm really feeling game tonight, so yes, let's do
it. Sounds like a plan. We will be back in just a minute.
Jones mess with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
wish I had you all alone. Just the two of us.
All right, we are back. We are back. You know, one thing that I did not mention at the start of this, and I just want to cover really quick before we get started on this chart. Did any of you guys see the madness online this week about Nightmare on Elm Street? Anybody in the chat? Did you hear anything about that, Matt?
No.
So real quick, somebody let out I think it was on Twitter, and they put out that Blumhouse was going to make the new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, right? Okay. So the internet goes nuts for a day. I saw it when it came out, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna wait until I hear something from like Bloody Disgusting or something like that before I really say anything about it. And then the next day, you know, there's like they released a statement saying no, that's not true at all. But yet there's all these channels coming out with stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I don't do that until I read something. You know, the amount of stuff that you hear all the time about, you know, things coming out. And I mean, Matt, we hear a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? Of people being like, hey, I heard that this is coming out, you know?
Right.
But until I really read anything on it, I don't like to report on it. And I just wanted to cover that a little bit, just in case, you know, someone was going to ask about it in the chat tonight. Until I read something that's official, you know, I don't really like to go off of, you know, what like scoopers are saying and people, you know, trying to get. I just rather read it on something that's a reliable source, as opposed to, you know, just jumping the gun and saying, you know, this is going to happen and this is going to happen just because, you know, someone said it. But yeah, it was all over the place. Like for a day, it was just like, there's a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie out. Or coming out. And it's just like, that was kind of out of nowhere. And I haven't read it anywhere.
And what you're saying is exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
You know, wait till you hear it from a reliable source. But even more so when you're talking about a beloved franchise like Nightmare on Elm Street, because let's face it, we all want another Nightmare on Elm Street at some point, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, if they hear anything, they're going to run with it, you know, especially if you're talking about any of those big franchises. But yeah,
I just say, I don't know. It's
going to be a minute. I think it's going to be a hot minute.
Yeah. I don't know. Not to say that maybe, you know, in some months they won't say, yeah, you know, but for right now, you know, it's just I wouldn't want to jump on anything like that because I think that right now we don't have a lot of news. So I'm thinking that like anything that comes out, you know, people are going to jump, especially something like a Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, that's a huge horror franchise that people are just, you know, they want something
back. Like, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially me, because I'm not the guy, you know, I'm not anti Robert Englund. He was a fantastic Freddy, but I'm not also the guy that, you know, thinks he's the only one that can do it. I actually look forward to the next guy to step up and take that role. So I'll be stoked, man, when we get something in the works. But I think it's going to be a while.
I do too, especially something as big as that. Like, you know, I feel like there would be kind of a lead up to it, you know, either that or it'd be like horrible promoting of the movie. You know, if I'm working for a company that's releasing a Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, I'm going to throw up some hints online before I announce something. You know what I mean? To have people guessing, you know, I don't know. It's just, I just want to touch base a little bit on that. I am definitely paying attention to what people are saying, but until I want to report some news, I definitely want to have a credible source before I start, you know, talking about what I think about things like that, for sure.
And let's face it, if the people hear it first from us losers, then cheese and crackers, they've done a terrible job of promoting this film.
If you've heard it here first,
don't go to the theater. Because yeah, I didn't want to go there, Michael, but
if you hear it here first, there's a good chance that this is the only show that you watch, or, you know, something else is going on with that for sure.
You might as well watch that back to back with Jeepers Creepers 7. Like, yeah.
7.
Just
How many? There's only 4 of those, right?
there are. I was exaggerating.
It's so bad that we're just going to go to 7.
Oh, at this rate, I don't want to know what that would look like, but that's a whole nother topic.
I think I was having a conversation with someone. I don't remember where, but they were talking about that being in like the next one being in like pre-production or something like that. Again, not read anywhere.
Really,
just a conversation.
The next Jeepers? Oh man.
Yeah, but again, I didn't read it. It was just, in conversation. So it's just I don't know. The thing is after Reborn, right? And this is something that I'd say, who went into that meeting room and said, what we need to this is a sequel to bring it all together.
Is Reborn, is that what 4 was called?
Yeah, that was the CGI, like the one that actually still has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my god! And see, I don't have much more to take with Jeepers because I was a big fan of the original. I know the creator is a total dirtbag, but that aside, I was a huge fan of the original. And even part 2, I enjoyed, but 3 and 4 they just dug a knife. I mean, man, I don't know how many more shitty Jeepers Creepers I can handle. It's getting bad. Like
I said, the original, in 2, but after that, it was just, yeah.
I mean, it went down fast and hard. It went downhill like the guy on freaking Nightmare on Elm Street 7. Like it, yeah.
Like, why? Why did we do this?
And it just kept going and kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
Let's see how much we can get for it. But I mean, after that last one, I wouldn't want to be the guy in the meeting being like, you guys, what we need is a sequel to this. I'm telling you. Where's the last one sitting right now? Oh, it's at 0%. I mean, all you really got to do is get a 1, and it was better than the last one, right?
Yeah. And it is, man. I can joke all day, but it messed with me. I was really hoping on that franchise, man. I was really hoping on that because let's face it, you can dog it all day long, but the actual creeper himself is still an amazing, concept. And, the creature looks fantastic, but damn, dude, they just got to, anyway.
I hear you. All right. So we have 3 different franchises we're ranking tonight. Again, like I said earlier, Scream, Child's Play Chucky, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which some of those are Leatherface, but everybody knows when you say TCM, you're talking about the
Michael,
Texas.
Let's dive in, buddy. I'm ready.
You ready to do this?
Yeah.
So are we choosing these at random like we did before? And we will go ahead and...
I like it that way.
Yeah, I do too.
I like random.
Now, these are a little more difficult for me. Like when you get into some of them that I'll have to squint real hard to look at the titles because they're not as easy for me. Like when we did Friday and Nightmare and Halloween, I just knew them by the covers. Like I knew which movie it was, off the rip by the cover.
Yeah, those are very small. Like I didn't know bifocals.
And
we're old.
I'm not ready to let these people see me in my glasses yet. I think I've worn them 3 times in my life, and it's not going to be 4th on Movies and Beyond for sure.
Yeah, these are tiny. I know most of the covers though, but yeah, let's do it, man.
That's good.
Let's go random.
I will throw this one up here. Do you know the cover for this one right here?
I would say Cult.
Cult of Chucky. It is Cult of Chucky.
Okay.
Where do we stand on Cult of Chucky, Matt?
Who goes first, buddy?
Go ahead, bud.
I'm actually gonna keep it right where it is.
That's right where I put it because that's where I was gonna put it.
Really?
As well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about that, guys? Michael and I.
Hey, I mean,
seeing eye to eye on the very first one, and that's going to be Chucky, the Cult of Chucky. And yeah, it's it wasn't a knockout of the park. But as far as that franchise goes, I enjoyed it. I think it was creative. They tried different things with Cult of Chucky. I like when they had like the multiple Chuckies and messing with each other and stuff and all that good stuff. Tiffany comes back and it's a solid addition to that franchise. But I can't put it at meh, and it's by no means great. So yeah, keep it right there for me, man.
We agreed on one, and since we agreed on it, we're gonna keep it right there. We're definitely gonna do that.
Sorry, chat, you're out of this one.
Wah, wah, wah. All right, let's see what we got here.
I like even more so seeing if I can like recognize the cover. That's fun.
Yeah,
too.
this is Scream 5. This one I know. I actually
I want you to go first on this one, Michael.
Scream 5, I'm going meh, to be honest with you. In all honesty though, it has my favorite opening of the franchise. It does.
Okay.
But that's really it.
Okay, so I have one question for you.
Sure.
Why are you moving it already? Is your word just gold? Like
this is where it will stand until you tell me differently.
Well, here's what I was going to ask you. Could you possibly go to okay with it? Or could you not see yourself going there?
Oh, God.
Because I struggle with meh.
You struggle with meh?
I do. And you know me, Scream's not my baby. But as far as that franchise goes, I actually think I don't think I can go to meh. So if you cannot go to okay,
we're taking this one to the chat. We are going to let the chat decide. I'm sorry. But if my mods could get a count on the chat, place your votes now on where you guys think that Scream 5 should go. Now, here's the thing. My opinion on Scream, I'm going to get throttled by the chat. I guarantee that. I have my feelings.
Club, Michael. I've been throttled my whole life.
I am going to get throttled by the chat for sure. But yeah, we'll see what we got for them. We'll get another movie up there until we get a total.
Let's do it
for it. But be sure to place your vote so the mods can go ahead and get a count, and this movie goes where you guys want it to go. All right. Texas Chainsaw. This is 3D, right?
It is 3D, Michael.
This is 3D.
It is 3D. And you go ahead. You go ahead, man. I like you going first.
All right. 3D. Hold on a second, real quick. Let me fix this real quick, buddy.
I know right off the rip. I've got 2 categories, so I'm trying to be.
You're trying to get it together?
Yeah, I'm trying to get us together.
So 3D for me wasn't a favorite. The do your thing cuz at the end. That was the point where I just wanted to bang my head against the brick wall for sure.
Yeah. I know John, he's in the chat. John liked that part, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to also throw this in the meh category for the simple fact that,
you have to go to okay. You cannot go to okay with that one because I'm at okay or great. I cannot go to meh because I just enjoy it too much. So just, keep it real. If you cannot go to okay with it, it goes to the chat. But I am okay or great.
I'm sorry, man. I know, dude. Scream 5 did come out in meh. So I did get a Scream right. So we're definitely going to have to go to the count for Texas Chainsaw 3D as well. And we knew that, and I do. My mods are great, but they're probably just like, Jesus Christ, look at these
Michael's
guys.
being stubborn. This is so much fun. All
Texas Chainsaw 3D is now on the board for the chat.
And you know what, though, Michael, even I know great for that movie is a big old stretch. but it's another guilty pleasure for me. Something
Hey,
about it, man, I enjoy.
you're talking to the guy that loves Jason X. You know what I mean? So I
But
get it.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying that. Like, I know it's a stretch. Like, by no means is that movie great, but for me, it almost it. Then there was a long time where on Netflix they were very limited on their Texas Chainsaws, and if you're a Texas fan, you get on a Texas Chainsaw kick, whether it's your favorite or not. You just want to watch a Texas Chainsaw, right?
Yeah.
And that was like the only one on Netflix for the longest time, so I just started going to it, and it just grew on me. But
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that for sure. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Polar is saying Meh wins with 5 votes for 3D.
all right, I'm getting freaking stomped.
Like it's a competition.
It is a competition, Michael. It
All right.
absolutely is a competition. I'm sick of this shit. What's next?
Scream 3.
Oh, go ahead, Mikey.
Scream 3. This is another meh for me. It does have its no, you know what, guys, I don't. Scream 3 is it's going meh for me. I know that there are people that do, love this version of Scream. We just happen to pick the 2 for me that definitely go into the meh category for Scream.
Okay.
Just me.
So this will not go to the chat. I would put it horrible, but I can go to Matt. It just does nothing for me. But I can meet you at Matt.
All right. So now I do want to throw this out there. Like, we will go ahead and put it there. But we're both probably going to need an escort to our car, because I do want to throw up what the chat was saying about Scream 3.
Oh, shit.
Polar is saying Scream 3 is great for me. Derpiest of Dirt say my guilty pleasure has to be Predators. Oh, see, you know what? If you weren't on our Predator stream, for sure, you definitely like that one.
You have no hate here
Wayne
for
is
that.
saying Scream 3 is okay. Jamie Hart is saying Scream 3 is epic. Jen Warner is saying Scream 3 is epic.
Okay.
Lydia is saying Scream 3 is okay.
Okay.
Derpiest of Dirt saying Scream 3 is great.
So yeah, we are on the wrong end of that. James goes with okay.
So everyone in the chat was above where we were. So we're probably going to get beat up in the parking lot, but not today, my friends. Not today. All right. So the next one, let's see here what I grab. Oh, shit, I'm not even on the thing. That's what happens when you look away. All right. We are looking at Child's Play 2, the sequel to Child's
Okay,
Play.
allow me to go first if you don't mind, Michael.
Sure.
I have 2 categories. I have okay and great. It is better than meh. And I already know where you are. So if you can't go to okay, I don't believe you will. It goes to the chat. But I am at okay or great.
Okay. I can actually meet you on okay for Child's Play
Man,
too.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I feel like the formula was pretty much ripped from the first one. But I really enjoy the first one.
So many things though, too. You can.
But is it though?
You can say that about so many things. Like,
well, you can, but that doesn't make it any less true about
an H2. Like, I don't know.
You can, but it doesn't make it any less true for me. Like, I just felt like watching Child's Play 2, it's like, oh, it's the same story.
You made my day putting it okay. I'm not gonna lie. you did. Like, I'm happy you went to okay. I think that's really cool. So I know it wasn't easy. But yeah, I'm cool with that. I can sleep.
I got you. All right. Let's see what we got next. Help if I get on the board there.
I think this is so cool how we see all the covers down there. It's so cool. Oh man.
I gotta go epic. I do for the OG Texas
Is
Chainsaw. So
there any-
Texas Chainsaw 1974. That's where I have to go. It definitely did, it definitely did something for horror when that came out.
It's that word that it's that freaking, so it's two words I hate saying. But it is. That was a game changer.
Yeah.
I hate those two words because oh man, but it was, man. It was, how much stemmed from that movie, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It was, and I always say this about Texas Chainsaw too. Like, not Texas Chainsaw 2, but Texas Chainsaw also it's grimy, dude. Like, that movie makes me want to take a shower after I watch it. You know what I mean? Just the atmosphere of that movie. It's hot. It's dirty. It's bloody. And
it was really that exhausting and hot with them filming it. Like, they say the conditions were god awful. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's
and how it was, so much of it was stemmed from, the real Ed Gein case and all that stuff was so cool. But that's a movie like no other, man. And especially, like, say you're like a younger kid and say it's 1980 or 78, and there's so limited horror like that. How many times were you going to go back and watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Like, I mean, I can only imagine. Like, it was before its time, good, and yeah.
It definitely, and there's everyone in the chat, that has decided to chime in on this movie is saying, that it pretty much belongs in the epic category, not only for the movie itself, but for what it did. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it belongs there for sure. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we have Curse of Chucky.
Ooh. You go ahead, Michael. You go.
I'm gonna say I'm juggling between meh and okay. That's where I'm juggling for Curse.
This might be one of our hardest. This might be one of my hardest decisions. I guess I can't say we. I'm the one struggling. Damn it, because Michael, Chucky's not my baby,
right?
But for that franchise alone, if you're just saying like what I feel about that franchise, I want to put it at great.
Okay.
But for that franchise,
yeah.
If you're saying like just horror movie in general, like, I want to say that I can meet you at okay. If I'm making sense there. I think it's a great one for the franchise. Does that make sense? Horror in general, I could lean towards okay. So yeah, I can staple it there with you, buddy.
All right. Well, let's see what the chat had to say about Curse.
I really enjoyed it.
Derpy is saying, I say great for Curse.
Okay.
John is also saying great.
Okay, that's where I originally would like to go.
James is saying meh.
James, you can't trust that guy, man. You just can't.
Derpy Sturps is also saying so good, and it had such a low budget. And I mean, yeah, that's
I didn't know that.
Though, like, I try to judge them based off of what we got, because, not to say that you're, exactly saying this, but, there are so many times where people are just like, it wasn't that good, but here's what it could have been, so I like it. And it's like, no, man, I got to pretty much judge, what I saw.
Sure.
For the most part. Otherwise, I always bring up Jason Takes Manhattan. It should have been something totally different, and that's.
I just remember watching in Curse, and like when it was over, I literally said to myself, I'm like, we finally got another decent Child's Play movie. Like, I thought it was really good.
Wayne Turner is saying okay, and Landon is saying hi, Matt.
Hello, Landon. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hello.
All All right, let's see where we go here. Oh shit! I am just see. That's what happens when you scroll
Landon,
your.
I'm say one thing. Not it's not too far off. I'm taking you to see Five Nights at Freddy, my friend. That's gonna be a good time.
Child's Play 3.
Oh God.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I see that you're kind of juggling things around. I'm gonna put that in the meh category.
I'll go there.
Okay. Yeah, I just this one I just
I'm surprised you put it at Matt.
like
straight to dog shit.
yeah, but I think about the ones that I do want to put in horrible, and it's kind of like I may want to watch this a little more than that one. So it's
fair enough.
It's
Fair
for
enough.
sure, and it does look like so far the chat is agreeing with meh. Except
But as much
James.
as I watch it, as much if you base it on how much I watch it, it might go up to great. I don't know. Like I got weird with that one for a while, but it's bad. But I always put it in.
Yeah, I think meh is a good place for it. It's someone says Child Play 3, I'm just like meh. Like I'm not gonna stand there and be like it was horrible, but at the same time I don't want to watch it. Oh, here we go. This should be interesting. Scream 6.
Who goes
Scream
first?
I think that this will probably be interesting in the chat. For Scream 6, I'm
you
always
can't just send it to the chat if we don't agree, Michael.
well, I'm not saying that I'm sending it to the chat. I'm just saying it should be interesting to read in the chat what people think. I'm going with okay for Scream 3. I did Scream 6. I did like it a little better than Scream 5, but it wasn't anything special to me. Yeah.
This does not go to the chat because I would be with Matt or okay, but I can come to okay.
I just feel like it could have been so much better.
Oh yeah, it pissed me off.
I feel like it just
excuse me, it pissed me off.
It's and you know what? One of the things that I was reading the most out of Scream 6 was the amount of people that were saying it was the best since the original. And there were tons of people saying that.
It was on its way. It was on its way.
I mean, where do you begin with Scream 6? I mean, that for me, like that's the thing. Like,
this is one thing, Michael, where I have to give you a ton of props.
Yeah.
And I don't like doing that. But it was actually you and Polar. I got to give you both tons of props because I hadn't seen it yet. You both had, and you told me exactly what I was in for. Like verbatim, you hit it spot on, man. It's a great movie until you get to the third act. And when you first said that, I was like, oh, what, dude, whatever, come on.
But even watching it more times, the more times I watch it, the more holes I find in it too. You know what I mean? And having conversations with people and stuff like that. And it's just
the industrial ladder that he pulled out underneath his pillow. To do it.
Just threw that out of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, but when you watch Scream though, in all fairness, it's
got some of my favorite scenes in it. I love the grocery store scene. I love it.
I just feel like you kind of know what you're in for at this point with Scream. Like they're starting to really repeat a pattern. Not that they haven't in the past,
but they do need to change things up. You're right.
But it's just like after Scream 6, I didn't feel like there was any risk of anyone dying ever in that movie, a part of the main group. Like it was just so like ridiculous at points. Yeah,
in a Scream movie.
But it just. Yeah, it's.
But you did, man. I hope you hear me. You and Polar, you guys hit it spot on, man.
It was definitely but I mean, there are a lot of people that love it, and that's great.
I don't want to forget that I don't want to forget that convenience store scene with him and the shotgun. Thought he looked badass. Man, it was.
Yeah.
It had a lot going for it, man, and it just bombed. Yeah,
All right, man.
it's depressing.
This is
It's depressing.
this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003.
Really.
It is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. You know that's where
You were toying with me. You were toying with me, weren't you? You son of a bitch. You were toying with me. Because I started being like, what's he doing? Oh, dude, come on. You will need a guide to your vehicle.
You'll need a guide to your vehicle.
I wouldn't take it anywhere else than where you have it. That is a remake amongst remakes. You know, it's my go-to. If anybody says I hate remakes, it's just my go-to, man. And I stay true to how I feel. I like this one above the original, and that's not dogging the original because I also put that at epic. You know, but it's just the original on steroids, if you ask me, man. Love it. So
yeah, and I mean, you know, watching that one, there's so many good things about that movie. They did so many good things about that movie. You know, and for me, it started at the point to where, you know, that girl shot herself in the back of that van.
yeah,
And it's just like,
yeah,
it was just like, I am not even like, I wasn't ready for it, you know, and then when that happens, it's just like, okay, I can see where this is going.
yeah.
You know, from the sheriff, you know, he's great in everything.
Oh
he
man,
does.
dude.
What's his name? Lee Emery. He's freaking awesome.
And they couldn't have cast him in a better role. Oh man.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's this movie. You're right, dude. It kind of set the standard for remakes. Like if you're gonna remake something, you need to do it right. And to me, I feel like they did it fantastic. Like it was just, it was fantastic, man.
And they've also almost kind of cursed me in a way, because another thing aside from just like how well they did it is how good Leatherface looked. I don't know if I'll ever agree with the way Leatherface looks again. You know, when I saw the 2022 Leatherface, I immediately was just like, oh, really? Like that's what you're going with? I was like, look how good he looked in 2003. But I think I'm always going to do that. Like they just nailed it, man. He looked so good. I've got his costume over here hanging in my basement. I've got I don't know if you can see it. I've got a replica mask over here. But and you guys know me, you know, by now. I'm a visual guy. You got to get that character right, and gosh, damn, did they get it right? Like he looked so good.
Yeah.
He looked so good. It's the mask to this day is one of the most, you know, sought after Leatherface replica masks that you can find. But yeah, it's my go-to when someone says, "Hey, remakes suck." Because they have a point, man. They do. There's been some really terrible remakes. But don't overlook that, man. Don't overlook that one. Along with, you know, Evil Dead was a great remake. You know, they don't all suck, but
Friday.
yeah. But man, it was great. And it's a fun watch, man. Like I can't tell you how much of a go-to that is for me if I'm sitting here with buddies and we're like, hey, let's watch a horror movie, but we don't know what to watch. Hey, 03 Texas. I can watch that movie anytime.
Yeah, it's the only complaint I had about that movie, and you know, I've told you before, was I hated the fact that he lost his arm. You know what I mean? Like that was just the thing, because to me it felt like, okay, well now you really can't use that version of him again, and him being as effective as he was. So that's the only thing. But I mean, you know,
And defense, they never really did. They just did a prequel.
Yeah. And I mean, that was an option for them to do that. But I mean, with how good that was, I was kind of expecting maybe a trilogy after that.
Yeah.
You know,
Andrew was so good as a Leatherface. Andrew
Yeah.
Bernard, dude, he was this intimidating force. I think I'll struggle. I think I'll struggle to. I mean, I know I will struggle to find a Texas Chainsaw that I can hold to that level, man. It's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what the chat's up to. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see. Polar is saying that one is epic. Definitely agree. James, epic.
Nice.
Lydia is saying epic.
Okay.
Brittany is saying, I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003 much better than the original. I think the movie is great, but not epic.
Okay, fair enough.
Wayne is saying epic. I have an unlimited edition, 2-disc DVD edition. It is truly remarkable. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. You want to sell that, Wayne?
He's like, nope.
Nope.
I said epic. Didn't you hear me say epic?
Do you have a steelbook of that, Michael?
I do not. I do not think that they made a steelbook of that, but I definitely look into it.
You would know.
And you know what? You would think with it being like the 20th anniversary of that movie that they would have did something like that for that. But I don't know.
It's hard for me to believe that movie's 20 years old. That's crazy.
It is. It's 20 years old at this point. And I don't really think that there are any steelbooks from any of the Platinum Dunes stuff, because Platinum Dunes did this one as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that they did. Polar saying this is one of the remakes I actually watched more than the OG. I agree, definitely.
Same here.
John is saying it is R. Lee Emery. Yeah, I always call him Lee Emery, but you are correct. That is R. Lee.
Now who's that?
That was the sheriff.
Okay.
He was
Arlie.
most notable as the Gunny in Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
And actually, Wayne is talking about that right here. The late R. Lee Emery. He was awesome in Full Metal Jacket. Oh yeah, that was a few years ago.
I did not know he passed, man.
Yeah. He was something else. And the first time I ever saw him was definitely Full Metal Jacket, and he got that job. He was in there. He was a Marine. He was training.
He was coaching the guy, right?
Yeah, and they ended up making him, the actor for that. And that's just
so awesome.
He just, yeah.
That's a cool story. I remember you telling me that, Michael. I didn't know that.
And Wayne just wants to make it clear, no sale on that.
You can't, you can't blame me for trying.
Hey. Oh, Wrong Turn is 20 years old now too. Jesus.
Cheese and crackers. I can see it, but I don't want to see it. Like, oh, jeez.
James is saying he will just get a robotic arm like the $6 Million Man. Could you? Texas Chainsaw with like a Winter Soldier arm, like a
looking half Leatherface, half Jack's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Right. But living where he lives and the way that he lives, I doubt it'd look like anything like that. It'd probably be some tin foil and some rubber bands and everything else.
What else we got, buddy?
Let's see.
So ready.
I have Seed of Chucky. I'll let you go ahead and go on this one.
All right. It's one I could not get on board with, guys, and I know there's, because I've seen it from working in the shop. People who love Glenn, and it's just. I also haven't seen it in a long time. I want to give it another view, but I'm at horrible or meh. The movie just did not do it for me, Michael. So
yeah,
it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Seed of Chucky for me, I'm gonna have to throw up into the great section. I actually really love Seed of Chucky. I think it was one of the better sequels. I mean, yeah, dude. Like, no, it's horrible, dude. Seed of Chucky was absolutely terrible. I'm not a fan
You had me, man.
whatsoever.
You had me because people do like this movie.
I really.
You gotta know you weren't even trying that hard, but you had me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, no, this is not one of my go-to Chucky movies, for sure. In all honesty, in all fairness, I've probably seen it once. You know, and the one time that I did watch it, I was just like, "Good God, man!"
I think I've seen it like 1.5.
Yeah,
or just a half. Like,
man. But yeah, and I'm not seeing a lot of comments either about this movie. So either everyone is totally agreeing with us, or they don't even really care to vote.
You would be surprised. Like, it has its following, man.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, not big on this one for sure.
That's the worst one, if you ask me, in the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
All right. This one right here. I always forget the name of this one. I can't read it. Get to my thing here. I kind of did something to help myself out. I believe this one is the Next Generation here.
Is this part 3 or 4?
This is the Next Generation. That's
4. Okay.
Yes. This is the one with all right.
Oh man. Phew. Michael, Texas had some doozies.
Texas did have some doozies. Okay.
With all right. I've got to go with. Man, I've got to. I'm gonna go with Matt. It's a horrible movie, but
it's bad.
It's a horrible movie, but man, I can't deny that. You know, I love my slashers, and I'd say I'd watch it before a lot of other movies just because it is Leatherface, and so I'm at horrible or meh.
I can agree with that, and the only reason I'm gonna say meh is because I enjoy the robotic remote leg fight too much. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Almost ever. Like, it is so bad when she grabs the remote to his leg and then she's making him kick and he's trying to make it straight. Dude, it is ridiculous, but I cry laughing almost every time because it was so bad. But yeah, I mean, I can go horrible or meh like with this because I get it. And that was really the only thing. Like, there was so much stuff in it. I just can't get over that leg.
Is this the one where the one, like, dad's got the stick, like the shocker stick, and he's running around poking everybody?
That I don't remember. This was the one where the kids were going to the prom at the beginning. And Matthew McConaughey shows up, you know, with the tow truck, and he ends up chasing the kid backwards, and the kid just can't jump off the road. He stays on the road.
Oh yeah,
it's really ridiculous.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that when we were rating the movies.
Yeah, like it was just that whole week. Like, it had been so long since I had watched a lot of these. That whole week before we did our Texas Chainsaw Massacre ranking, I was watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, so I hit, you know, all of the ones that I hadn't seen in a while. And this one, it was just like,
I remember because I was jealous. I didn't get a chance to freshen up like you did.
I was just like, what are we even doing here?
You even referred to the Austin Powers.
Yeah, stop
with the steamroller.
Like, the football get out of the way. Yeah. Like, get out of the way. He just stood there. Yeah, it was bad. I feel most comfortable probably putting this in horrible. Like, it was just that bad for me.
I'm okay with wherever you want to throw that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see what we get.
But it's pretty bad.
Oh, Scream 4.
Okay. I know exactly where I'm putting that, baby.
Scream 4. All right.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. Um,
I'm gonna meet you right there with Scream 4. I'm
okay.
gonna say great. I really enjoy
I did too.
Scream 4.
I did too. And I was, you know, Scream is any Scream that comes out, I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
At the theater if I'm available, or if I'm free. Um, it's I don't have a whole lot of vested in the Scream franchise,
Yeah.
but that one, man, I was digging it. Emma Roberts, I love her. Rory Culkin, I love him. Um, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I agree 100%.
Kirby, it was, come on.
Yeah. I love Kirby so much. And that was her introduction, and that was the Kirby that I enjoyed. In Scream 6, not to backtrack, but I just felt like something was off with Kirby. Like I
I
understand
agree.
I understand that people have to grow up, and I have to I
agree.
do understand that people do change. You know what I mean? But I think that it lost a little bit of what I loved about that character so much. Although I did enjoy the scene in 6 where she was sitting there talking to Mindy about the movies, that she liked, and they were kind of ranking them with each other,
Yeah.
sitting right there being horror fans. But to me, that was kind of like the only real glimpse of Kirby that I saw.
I felt the same
in
way.
6.
It didn't feel like the Kirby we knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do like. Yeah, I agree. But four is my. Well, I won't say too much, but yeah, I love 4.
Four is a
And I
good
like
one.
how it continues. Like you kind of think it's over, and they continue into the hospital and everything. And yeah. Michael, on this note, I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
All right, and I will go through the comments and
a little
see
bit.
where we are there, and I will start
Right back,
with.
ladies
All right.
and gentlemen.
We'll start with Polar was announcing Scream 4. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. Polar was saying Epic, my favorite sequel. It's my second favorite sequel, but I really do like Scream 4. Derbiest of Dirt saying Scream 4 is great. I agree. It is really good. But I understand everybody has their opinions on stuff. Me and Matt, we never get along on any of them. Jen is saying Scream 4 is meh. And I can see that aspect of it too. There's quite a few people that have, I've had conversations with about Scream 4 being the one that liked it as opposed to them being the one that didn't. And they do bring up some good points, but like I said, the things that put it over the top for me was, the introduction to Kirby. And I really did like that character. It's one of my favorite characters in Scream. Not my favorite character, but one of my favorite characters. Lydia is saying Scream 4 is great. James is saying Scream 4 is great. And Jen is also saying, I am being nice by saying meh. I get it, Jen. It's cool. It's cool. All opinions are always welcome here for sure. Definitely everybody. We never have any debates about opinions. And I think that one of the reasons why, that we don't ever, say anything, bad about people that disagree, because Matt and I don't even agree with each other about 90% of the things that we do on here. So that's definitely an open atmosphere that we are promoting here, and I love to see everybody's reaction to these and what they think. And then Darkroom Secrets is agreeing. Scream 4 is meh. Wayne Turner is saying Scream 4 great. My favorite sequel introduces Kirby, Shock of a Killer, Jill, and Wes Craven's last film. Yeah. And I mean, Wes Craven's his month is this month, isn't it? It's the month of his birthday and the anniversary of his passing, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody knows in the chat, for sure, let me know. But yeah, I loved Wes Craven. Jen is saying that opening was horrible. Yeah, it definitely did not have the strongest opening, for sure. Jen is also saying Kirby was sus as hell in 6, and I'm still not convinced that she is not a good guy. And I mean, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with with her. If she even stays a part of the franchise, or if that was kind of a one and done for her. I'm kind of curious to see where that goes exactly, and we really don't know. But you are right. She was definitely sus in 6. There was a moment there where I'm like, oh my god, you guys are not gonna make Kirby the bad guy here, are you? I didn't want that at all. Let's see. Wayne is saying, I want Kirby to be revealed as a secret Ghostface in 7. She was terrible at her FBI job on purpose, maybe? Question mark? Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I definitely agree that she wasn't the Kirby that I remember. Something just didn't feel right with her for me.
That I just got back and I've got so many conflicting feelings now. Like I got on it and I know you were saying that you didn't want Kirby to be the killer.
No.
But after reading what he said, that could be interesting as well. Like, I don't know.
I don't know for that for me, and believe me, you guys know me. I'm not a Scream guy. I just feel like if you were to make like Nev or Kirby or like Gale or like Dewey. Now you can't Dewey now, but if any of them were to ever be Ghostface, I feel like it would just make a lot of the earlier ones kind of pointless. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just I don't know. I feel like you're rooting for the good people in this, and in the ones that are Ghostface are, besides the first one, you kind of each movie you watch, you kind of have an idea. I'm not gonna lie on who Ghostface is.
But Michael, in a way, what you just said makes your opinion that much more intriguing, because sometimes it's the person who isn't that attached that has the best idea.
Well, let's look at it this way. What if Part 7 came out and Nev was the killer?
Where you just say that again?
What if Part 7 came out and Nev was the killer? Like Sydney was Ghostface? Like, to me, I feel like it would just...
That could be epic if they did it correctly.
I feel like...
And I'm not saying that's an easy task, but I'd have to say no, but...
I just feel like it would
could you
cheapen everything.
You know who I'd like it to be? Randy. Somehow his death was faked or some shit. I don't know. But like,
no, dude. Randy's my favorite character of all time, dude. He's not a Ghostface. He's the anti-Ghostface. He's Obi-Wan to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no.
I like Randy too. That's science. That's all why it's all the more intriguing. But at this point they need to do something, maybe not exactly what we're saying, but they need a shocker in there, man. They need a shocker. Just like 6, we were all, everybody was hoping. I can't say we all, it's not my baby, but from what I read, everybody wanted Stu to come back and have this part, and that all went down. So that had to have hurt a lot of people, right? Because a lot of people had their hopes up for that. So they got to do something, man, to shock and please the true Scream fans. Because right now they're just making I feel like half-ass movie after half-ass movie.
But they're still hitting over 100 million in the box office every time. So, you got to give it to them for that, for sure.
Yeah, but are they just relying on the name? Like, because hell, I went to the theater for Halloween Resurrection. Yeah,
but that didn't make no 100 million.
I'm just saying, though, I was there and it was dog shit. That's all I'm saying.
I straight to video that one. I'm not even gonna lie.
Resurrection, maybe that was a bad.
Never hit my.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's your baby, you're gonna go. I still think that they are gonna start nosediving if they don't. After seeing 6, man, they gotta.
But then again, like I said, there were a lot of people that said 6 was the best since the original. So I don't know.
So that just tells you the world we're living in, Michael.
I'm curious to see where it goes.
Just tells you.
But Polar did verify it is Wes Craven month. Thank you, Polar. And Jen is saying his birthday was August 2nd and he passed at the end of August. Yeah, so it is Wes Craven's month, and you know, yeah, Wes Craven. That dude did so much for horror. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Should we have a moment of silence for Wes Craven?
We'll do that at the end of the month for sure.
All right,
definitely.
Wes Craven.
He's definitely earned that one for sure.
Dude, yeah.
Wayne is saying Kirby was only in 4 and bits of 6. Never a main hero really either. Sid and Gale were lead good guys for many movies. Won't work. Kirby could. Always a killer even from 4. And maybe it's just my feeling about Kirby that doesn't, you know, want that. But I do see what you're saying, Wayne. I do see that she wasn't, you know, she wasn't the carrier of the movie. Maybe just more of a, you know, favorite of mine.
Yeah, she was absolutely never a carrier of a movie.
Right.
So I can see what he's saying.
For sure. All right, let's see what we got next. Where are we at here?
She just wore the short hair like nobody's business. I mean, yeah, come on, dude. And 4, like, Jesus.
I know. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh. All right. Do you want me to go first?
Shall I, or do you?
You go ahead. You go ahead, because
I don't want to repeat everything that I said when we ranked this, but I don't think that, you know, I've ever cheered more for 2 people to die at the beginning of a movie than I did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Like, these guys, I would like, hurry up, kill him. I want him to die. You know, like, there was no like tension. Like, maybe these guys were probably the most annoying people
since Tina.
Yeah. And I'm, you know, she may have, you know, Tina on the ropes as well. Like, seriously, like, I am just, oh God. You know, they went a totally different direction, you know, from the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You had what's his name? Dennis Hopper was in it. I love Dennis Hopper, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough to really carry this film enough for me. So I'd put it under the meh to okay categories. I could probably flip a coin on that. I'm not super big on Texas Chainsaw 2. I do love the Breakfast Club pose on the cover. But again, it's not really the movie for me. Yeah.
All right.
That's where I stand.
All right. I struggle to this day about where I stand with Texas 2. It has, Michael, make no mistake about it, has a massive cult following. Massive. And this is and these are the horror fans that love horror comedy. And it still baffles me to this day that they did take such a drastic turn from the original to that. You know, that wasn't the 3rd or 4th or 5th. It was the direct sequel to this movie that was there. You know, it wasn't about comedy. Like, there were some goofy things in the original, but it wasn't meant to be a comedy whatsoever.
Right.
You know, it baffles me that they, you know, I mean, that was a drastic change. And, you know, and horror comedy is not really my thing. I'm with you. I loved Dennis Hopper. I loved Stretch. I loved Stretch's character.
Yeah, definitely.
And then another one that takes it up there for me is Chop Top. If you were to take out, so man, it's what I struggle with, Michael. It's not 100% my cup of tea, but there's some serious creativity going on with Texas 2 as well.
And let's not forget that Leatherface was trying to get laid with his chainsaw too. Like, that was it's like, dude, this is a guy I want to be scared of, not a guy that's, you know, got a chainsaw on his.
They did a 360 like I've never seen. You know, usually like a movie, you know, gradually gets to that. You know, it was before we got Bride of Chucky, we were on our 5th 4th installment. So you said horrible or meh, right?
I said, yeah. I said meh or okay, but the more I'm thinking about it, I
Okay.
would say
Okay.
horrible to meh. Yeah.
So for me, I'm in the okay or meh. So
why don't since we're moving along pretty good, let's leave this one up to the chat. Because we're bouncing around a few things here, and I want to let the chat
okay
vote
with
on
that.
Texas
I'm okay
Chainsaw
with
too. For sure.
It's a movie that, like I said, it baffles me to this day. Like, and I just don't know where I put it. There's times where I'm feeling like watching the movie and I can watch it and enjoy it. And there's times where I'm like, I just don't want to even touch it. Like it's a strange movie for me. You got to be in the mood for a Texas too, dude.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, if you haven't already, vote on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, please. And then if my mods could get back to me on the count for that one.
And also, while you're doing that, smash that like button. How about that?
And that subscribe button if you haven't already. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
If you want to hear, a couple dipshits talk some horror, you're in the right place.
You are in the right place for sure.
But man, I love the horror community, and I love talking horror with you guys, man. So yeah, and we will always keep it real here.
Well, Child's Play, not the OG.
Ooh, the remake.
The remake.
Michael, I'm going to let you take the driver's seat on this one.
All right. I will go ahead. No, I'm not doing that at all. This is going right here for me. I hated everything about this movie. It was definitely a one-time watch for me. It didn't feel like Chucky to me whatsoever. Not even close to being anything that I personally wanted out of a remake for Child's Play. I really didn't like this one for sure.
Yes, and we are moving on because it goes too horrible. And what is next? I don't know.
Let's see if we got a total. So did we get a total for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Did we get a final tally on that one? Let me know in the chat. Right. Here we go.
I see the cover. I see the cover and I recognize it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 won with Epic.
Are you shitting me? I told you it has a massive massive cult following, dude. It has a massive following. I'm not that surprised. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not that surprised. I would have thought maybe great, but man, Epic for that. It's not Epic in my book. Michael, I know you agree with me. Man.
Yeah. No,
dude,
but
that, make no mistake, that movie has people backing it up. And that's cool. That's freaking cool.
Yeah. Leading it through this up, I love that the only movies in Epic category right now are all TCM movies. That's
cool. True. That's cool.
That is true.
I didn't realize that.
For sure. Okay, so this is the Leatherface. Is this which one is this one? Is this
that's the latest rendition, where it's basically prequel where he's a boy.
Oh, good God.
A boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one for me is definitely a tougher one for sure. I was not a huge
Where
fan
do you
of this
put
one.
it, Michael?
Was this the 2017?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This one for me. I'll go to meh. I wish there was something in between here and here between horrible and meh.
I hear you.
You know, that's like I almost want to see if it'll stay on the
So,
line right here.
I do want to talk about this one a little, if I may.
Yeah.
Um, I put it. I would want to put this wherever I put Scream 6.
So okay.
Yeah, because yeah, but that's pushing it. I wish there was an in between, man. Okay.
We're gonna have like 30 selections on the next tier thing we do. Like
Yeah.
epic, almost epic,
Like,
great,
no, it's not
almost
man.
great.
It's it's not great. It's pure. Yeah. But no, it's very similar for me to the Scream 6 because it's one of those movies that I also I thought was so close to being really good. But without going into super detail, they went the wrong route. They picked the wrong guy. But it's almost like I was saying again with Child's Play 3. Man, I can watch this movie, but I'll shut up. It didn't hit the nail on the head. It was close. And I'm at meh or okay with it. That's where I am. So
All right, let's let this one go to the chat. Yeah. So we're gonna throw the prequel in the chat. Let you guys decide where this one's gonna go.
I had super high hopes, Michael, because like this is and I don't keep up on everything. I usually get all my information from you. But for whatever
yeah, we disagree so much.
But I do, I'm sorry, like with what's coming out and stuff I get from other people. But I knew way ahead of time that they were doing this prequel. And I was just over the moon, man. Talking about Leatherface as a kid and and so I had super high hopes. And they were just close, but there was it ended up being like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Like, no. But I can still watch it. There's some really good scenes in the movie. But they just, man, they bombed it. They bombed it. If they would have chose the other boy as Leatherface, that looked like Leatherface, acted like Leatherface, was brutally strong and sadistic like Leather. It was dumb what they went with, man.
Yeah.
But instead, let's go with the boy that's, kind of handsome and has the girl. Yeah, let's pick him as Leatherface. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it did. Med did win on that one, so they are going with meh for the Leatherface prequel. That is, yeah, it's fair. Definitely going to. Let's see. Here we have here. Is this Bride? Is this Bride of Chucky?
Sure as hell is, Michael.
Right. Where would you put Bride of Chucky?
Great. And I really wouldn't go anywhere else. This movie is well made. As far as horror comedy, it's top notch. Jennifer Tilly's phenomenal as Tiffany. Yeah, I put it at great. And yeah, I can't budge.
Yeah,
I can't take it to epic, but it's better than okay, brother. So I'm not great.
I can do great for Bride.
Okay.
I was okay, great. I if there was a good category, I should have put a good in here. I would have put it there.
We should do one just for fun that's got like 11.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like 35 categories. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go with great. I'll meet you there for that one.
Dude, and who else you got? You got the late Three's Company.
John Ritter.
You got the late great John Ritter, man.
I love John Ritter, dude.
Dude, yeah. And you know me, Michael. I'm not the biggest horror comedy fan, but they nailed it with Bride of Chucky, if you ask me. Like their banter back and forth, and
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I almost want to put it epic, but it's just not that my cup of tea. And it was great. It was great.
Oh yeah. Texas Chainsaw 3, Leatherface.
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put this in the meh category. Texas Chainsaw 3. Although it did have a few good things about it, it wasn't enough for me to go any higher than meh. You know, it had a what's his name in it from Rob Zombie's Halloween. Truck
Grizzly,
guy.
Joe Grizzly.
Joe Grizzly.
I don't think I've ever known his real name.
Yeah,
I'm just always going by Grizzly. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. When you say that, dude, that's your name. Like
Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Just say that.
And he had a little Rambo moment himself, you know, outside of the house. But Viggo Mortensen was in it, you know, and he definitely did, you know, a good job playing his character. But at the end of the day, you know, as far as, you know, wanting to watch or rewatch it, you know, it's a meh.
And I know I'm not alone. I bet there's so many people that just refer to him as Joe Grizzly.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, that's all I know him as. I couldn't tell you his name in all honesty.
I'm Joe Grizzly.
Either that or
Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me. I'm gonna be a while. He was memorable in Halloween, dude. He was
definitely.
You know,
he's probably my favorite character in the whole Rob Zombie.
And I always love characters that can have such short screen time but make a presence. You know,
yeah.
It takes me back to you know, what's his name in you know, Friday 5, dude. Ooh, baby. Baby, you know, dude, he was great, and his screen time probably averaged like what, 4 minutes, like
roughly.
Yeah, that's impressive. It's not easy to do.
I actually have a speaking of that song. I actually have a Friday 5 poster on the way. I want to show that to you because it looks super freaking awesome. And you know, 5's not one of my favorites at all, but this poster looks so dope. I was just no, this is coming to the house for sure.
5 grew on me, man, over time.
So we have this in the meh.
So I've got to say where I put part 3.
Yes.
And sorry, chat, I can meet you at mad, but it's mad or horrible. But it's a Leatherface, and here's where I am. The one thing that comes to mind with Texas Chainsaw 3 is I take nothing away from the man who played Leatherface. I thought he did a fantastic job. The Leatherface was amazing. It's just everything else was shit, but yeah, man, I can watch it. So I can agree with you on that. For sure.
Oh yeah. All right.
Don't go snoozing, chat. We're gonna need you. Don't go snoozing.
So here we go. Scream 2.
This goes to the chat.
I will let you. Yeah, it's gonna go to the chat. I can guarantee that on how we both feel with this one.
You go ahead first, Michael.
Before I do, Polar's reminding anybody. P.S. Have you all hit that like button? Please hit that like button for us if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. It helps out, you know, people being able to see our stream. That would be fantastic. All right, Scream 2. I almost moved Leatherface there. I'm right here, literally in between great or epic, and I know that you're not there.
I'm not.
With this one. Scream 2 is my favorite sequel. It's the one that I felt was the closest to the original. You know, cast wise, you still had most of the team together. It was my boy Randy's send off, which I still think was some bourgeois. But yeah, I really dig this one.
And I've said this 100 times. I do want to watch it with you, Michael. I do.
Yeah, man.
Because it has been a minute. I just always remember 2 and 3 just did nothing for me until 4 came along. So at this point, the best I can do for Scream 2 is Matt.
All right.
So that goes to the chat.
Scream 2 is going to the chat for a vote. We are going OG Child's Play. I'm just gonna throw it up there. That's what I think. You can talk on it if you want, but this is the end, friend.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere else for me as well. And I tore it up as a youngster, man. Like, tore it up. It was so good. It was creepy, and you and I touched on this a little bit today. We wish that the franchise stuck with that, but it, as we know, went all over the place. But and people even forget. I feel like, especially the people that are putting the Glenn stuff up at Epic or Great. They forget how creepy and I'll even go as far as scary. Chucky was scary, dude, in the original. They did it so well, but movie's epic. Epic.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I definitely think so too. It's just wow, man. Yeah. All right. You guys may disagree with me on this one. Texas Chainsaw, The Beginning. I love this movie, man.
Well, you say love, but you put it okay.
No, that I just threw it up there.
Okay,
This is Texas Chainsaw, The Beginning.
Okay.
And then make sure in the chat too, you let me know how Scream 2 did votes wise as well.
Because that's
in.
right where I'm at with it. Is great.
Yeah, I love it.
That's right where I'm at. I can't go to okay. I barely can't go to epic. That's where I'm at. Characters are good. You've got that wonderful cop back. You've got Andrew Bernarski, back as I'm gonna always miss him as Leatherface, man. He did his 2 and Gone. But I think that role just fit him, man. But yeah, great movie.
Yeah, it's another thing too that I really loved about The Beginning was I was invested in the characters outside of Leatherface and Lee Emery. The brothers, like, being a veteran, that hit home for me. You know what I mean? It really made me think about some things and what that would have been like, and the way that he stuck up for his brother, trying to say it was him and not, you know what I mean? All those made impacts for me that made me really like this movie, and its rewatchability, based on me liking the characters so much in that was it's what makes it great for me. Like that's one of the ones too where we're talking about Texas Chainsaw. If someone's like, hey, let's watch The Beginning, then let's watch 03, it's like, hell yeah, man, that's a solid night for me. Texas Chainsaw, for sure. And for each person, movies are going to hit you different based on different things, and that's what hit hard for me. I'm really big on characters. Now, granted, Mia from Fast and Furious was in it also, and whatever, that's okay. But the thing that really, pulled it together for me was the brothers. She was the girl that got slung out of the car. Do you remember they only took 3 of them?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know the Fast and Furious franchise that well, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
was she in the original?
Yeah, she was in the OG. She was Vin Diesel's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, that Brian ended up with. Right. Yeah, and I mean it was roughly around that time too. That came out a little bit after Fast and Furious came out, but for sure. All right, the OG. We are going for the OG Scream, and is anybody really gonna disagree with that? I mean,
I give it to you if you have the balls to do so.
I do. I am gonna put the original Scream in the epic category for sure, and that is her name, Wayne. Thank you, Jordana Brewster. Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, man. It, yeah, it's epic. It's epic, and it did a lot for horror too, because let's face it, what was it? 90 was the original, what, 94, 96,
96.
96? Okay.
Yeah.
So, man, horror was in a really, really strange time period. The slashers were ending, as far as their impact. Your Jasons were starting to, die out, your Freddy's, and I feel like we were searching for something like a Scream, something different, something original, and it delivered, man. And once again, it was Wes Craven, dude. He did that same thing with Freddy Krueger. Before Freddy, we didn't see anything like that. A guy that comes at you in your nightmares. So yeah, rest in peace, Wes Craven. He put out some of the, I'd say two of the biggest juggernauts, the horror world's ever seen, man. And who can say that? Like it's impressive. But we needed Scream when Scream came out. Like we really did, and it was so different. I'll be honest. Like when I first saw it, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't know what to think. It was because it was that different. You know what I'm saying? It took a couple times where I was like, yeah, this is badass, but it was that different. And that's a good thing. It wasn't another slasher. It wasn't just another. It was.
The great thing about Scream is it wasn't afraid to poke fun at itself either, and it brought that meta. It was very self-aware. Scream was, to where horror movies, slasher movies at least, weren't so much. It was just so much. Like you touched on the fact that it was different. It was also the first time that it introduced the idea for the Scream franchise of not the same killer coming back every time. It was a whodunit. You were trying to figure out who the killer was the whole time. And it did a great job at making you care about the characters. I mean, characters we still talk about, even they got killed off in 1 or 2. People are still talking about Stu and Billy Loomis. They're still talking about Randy. You know what I mean? Those characters, he cemented in the Scream legacy of people to really, care about, which was something that wasn't done super often in horror. Like with Halloween, you had Laurie, depending on how you felt about her, but these people were coming back every time.
And I'll go as far as to say he didn't just cement them in the Scream legacy, but the horror legacy.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's just like, they were the one constants of all the movies where the killer was not. In each Halloween, Nightmare, Friday, you got Jason, you got Freddy, and you got Michael, and they're the constants that come back every time. It's not a movie without them. Hell, in Scream, it's not a movie without the cast. The people that are being pursued. That's the biggest difference with Scream. And it was so much different, like you touched on a little earlier, that it was awesome. And it definitely did something different. And yeah, Scream's fantastic.
I'm with you too, Michael, on just the love for Randy.
Like, that's my boy, dude.
But yeah, who could not relate with Randy? Like I felt like a Randy. Like I would have been that guy at the big, high school party that was the one being teaching them all about the horror, lessons and what you can and can't do and all that. I would have been that geek.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But when you said that first, like who can't relate with Randy? I hadn't thought about that, but I was like, yeah, man, like, dude, what a great character, man.
Well, even him working in the video store,
they'd save time. Like it was so
good. With him being, in the video store, dude, it's just like that's where I was hanging out in my teens, man. Was a video store. Did I work there? No, but I was in there. probably even more of a nerd, than Randy was, in that. But because
Sure,
I didn't work there, but I was still in there all the time.
sure. Like,
Like,
yeah.
let's go ahead and rent Halloween for the 94th time. You know what I mean? It's just like it's
Like, wait a
just so
minute,
much
Matt. You don't have a
different.
date for prom. You're just watching Halloween 5. Yeah, so
Well,
what's your
I
point?
had a date for prom, but we were watching Halloween 5. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we going to that prom after party? Nah, we're gonna go back to my house and watch Halloween 1, 2, and 4. What's up? For sure, for
Yeah, man.
sure.
But yeah, he was. I mean, I'm with you on that. I hold Randy like just way up there, like just memorable horror character icons, man.
I actually have to tap in here, but Lydia, that's freaking awesome. One of my favorite Randy Croats as well. There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend.
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
absolutely
That's
love
awesome.
it.
That's awesome. I wouldn't have remembered that quote. Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, Randy
I
was
miss
shit.
I miss the movie references. No one delivered them quite like Randy. You ain't lying about that.
No, for
Sure.
real, for real. Uh, God, man.
Wayne is saying, I once worked in a video store. Dude, my mother worked in a video store when I was a kid. So you know where I was. Like,
I wish I worked in a video store. I worked in a Subway next to a video store, but not in the video store.
I'll give you a free
But I was a
12-inch.
I was a mean sandwich artist, Michael.
I'll give you a free 12-inch ham and cheese for that Halloween. What's up?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how it was back in the day. My buddy worked at Subway, which was across from the video store in the drive-thru. It's like you're on the phone making deals, man.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're trying to get a 6-pack of some beer. I got 2 sandwiches. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, I've got 2 sandwiches. What's up with that Halloween 4? You gonna bring that over?
Look, man. I know I haven't returned Halloween 6 yet, but dude, I've got a meatball right here.
Right.
Let's keep it under wraps. Yeah.
I miss that, man. Like, also when I was a kid, I worked in a mall food court, right? Yeah. And of course, there were no video stores that we could trade with, man. But we definitely wheel and deal through the food court. I actually worked. I was a manager when I was 16, way too young to be in management of anything, right? Of a Chick-fil-A, and it was just like calling Burger King, like, hey, I need 2 Whoppers. I got 3 of them Chick-fil-A sandwiches and some strips. What's up? Like, it was just all about that stuff, man. And just that whole time of being alive was just, I miss it so much. We are down to our last. Oh no.
And I can't, I don't know if it's too far away or I'm just too old. I can't picture this cover.
It's the Texas Chainsaw remake that was on Netflix. Brittany is saying, do you prefer watching Scream on VHS or Blu-ray? She asked that of Wayne, but what would you rather pick, Matt? That's a good question.
Man, that is a good question. And I'm gonna have to say VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some old movie popcorn and like Scream. Yeah, I'm gonna say VHS, man.
That is
when it comes to Scream. I wouldn't say that about a lot of things, but just because it has, that is a cool question.
Not so much Scream for me, but some of the Nightmare on Elm Streets and Friday the 13th, I could see myself doing that, for sure.
Dude.
Because I think even if you watch, especially Nightmare on Elm Street, this is why that popped in my head. You can see too much in Blu-ray because it wasn't filmed to be on Blu-ray, and you can start to see some of the wires that they're using and things like that if you look hard enough once the quality gets so good, and it kind of does take away a little bit of it. So you can see that on Blu-ray, so I'm wondering.
Nightmare, I only watched that on VHS growing up. I mean, obviously that's all I had.
Yeah, that's all I had too.
But man, it's just the one movie that freaked me out.
Yeah.
Michael never really freaked me out. Jason never really freaked me out.
Jason freaked me out in 3.
And I can see that.
Yeah.
But that original Nightmare on Elm Street, dude, that was a freaky movie as a youngster, man.
It
Uh,
was.
you know, and I wouldn't mind to see her, Tina, going down the school hallway with even a little bit of static because you're watching such a shitty VHS. Dude, man. And you don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
those days back, man. You don't get those days back, like how that
No.
felt. But I watched the shit out of that movie on VHS, man.
Darkroom Secrets is saying, I still have my Blockbuster card. I wish they'd come back. You know, I bet you if I looked hard enough, I could probably find mine. To be honest with you, I bet
Dude,
you I could.
Same. And you know, they could do it a little differently. Like, because, man, as much as people are like googly over nostalgia, I honestly could see a Blockbuster coming back, but it's got to be with a twist. You know, it's got to be with a little bit of a twist. But I could almost see it coming back, man, because people are all about. You know, I was just reading something where like new bands are struggling because what sells tickets is still seeing, you know, the old fat Motley Crue guys up there singing is what, you know, is selling tickets and stuff. You know. To get the opening guys just to, you know, but I don't know. I think the next few years we're in for some weird changes, man. I just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It'd definitely be hard because at the end of the day, I feel like most people just be like, oh, just stream it, you know, but from a nostalgia standpoint, I'm sure that you'd still get, you know, some business like you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. But they'd have to. Like I'm saying, they'd have. It couldn't be just. They'd have to have like some type of. There has to be a little twist to it, but. But I'm all about it, man. Because man, get off your lazy asses of just let's stream it.
Just a night in the video store was cool as hell. Looking at all the titles, man, and hanging out with your friends and going through. Dude, it was just like. My ass always went straight to horror, like which Halloweens are in or which Fridays are in. You know,
it was something I wish the younger generation could experience. Like,
what I'd like to do at some point is get like all the local people from Movies and Beyond and go out to one of those drive-ins at some point and just all chill out there, like and actually see. You know what's playing out there. I think that would be like super cool.
Like, dude, it's all man.
I know there's one like 45 minutes away or something. I think it's called like Starlight or something like that. I think that we should at some point, you know, for the local people, or hell, even if you want to come into town and watch it with us, man, I think that would just be a cool night.
And I actually deliver in that area. I go right by that Starlight, but combine it. Combine it all. Movies and Beyond, Mad Max Mask, people, fans, if you've been out there, I think I speak for you as well, Michael. We just want to communicate with all you guys that have talked with us, whether you're, you know, on now with us at the you know, with the show, or you know, you've been to Mad Max Mask. I absolutely love the horror community, but yeah, man, if we could get a small freaking crew out there, or a big crew, dude, I'm all about it, man. But
that'd be fun.
Yeah, man, we could build something.
Jen is saying I worked in an adult video store. Well, that's all right, Jen. You probably saw me in there with my trench coat and sunglasses on a few times, walking through there.
I have never been to one of those.
It lies. You freak with them. Just kidding.
Anyway,
I'm kidding, Mad Mom. I promise. I'm kidding.
Mad Mom.
Yeah, I promise, Mad Mom. I'm just joking. Oh, a lot of people. Let's see. Brittany is saying, has anyone ever heard of Scarecrow Video in Seattle, Washington? They are the largest remaining video rental store in the world. Check them out. They also have a rent by mail program. That's crazy.
That is crazy, because I do know, like, people talk about them, but I just I don't. I know there are still like rental stores, like, but I just don't know where. But that's so freaking cool.
Yeah. I know a few
But
years
it
ago there
was
was a
Michael. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it was such an event, man.
yeah, it
Friday,
was.
the Stevens household Friday night was uh there was our video store was called Four Seasons Video, and right next to it was a pizza place that was a different name pizza place every other week you went there. But dude, we went there, got our little Caesars, went over there, got our movies, and it was just the whole experience was awesome. We didn't just sit on our ass and what can we stream? It was cool.
Oh yeah. Darkroom Secrets is saying throw a gathering. I have a 20-inch outdoor screen, or I'm assuming that's 20. I have a 20. I'm assuming that's feet, maybe outdoor screen and projectors. Cook up some food, watch horror movies when it's dark. Everyone bring inflatable mattresses or their own chairs. That would be cool as hell too.
Okay. So that is Kim.
Okay.
Kim, I love you. And that sounds amazing. So let's get that in the works.
For sure.
Because that sounds absolutely amazing. And
we'll get Wayne a ticket. He can fly over, man. It'll be
it's all about here, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea when I just started selling stuff at the shop or whatever. I knew horror people were cool, but I had no idea how cool. And it is, man. It's the best group of people, man. But that sounds awesome. She's talking about she has a because I believe she sent me pictures of it, but she's got like a big outdoor projector screen where you can put films up on it. But dude, we could set that up with some grilling out and some some ice cold brewskis, and man, it could be something. Yeah, that sounds awesome, Kim.
I've been trying to keep it together because, Matt, I agree with you 100%. But the Shape has a comment as well, and he's saying dirty movies rock. I've been trying to keep that one together. I had my hand over my mouth and everything, trying to keep that one. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so great.
Oh, man. Oh. All right. Yeah.
So we have one more Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie to throw up there, and that was, the 2000 and what was that? 2022. Oh, James, I love you, brother, so much. Oh, you are the man.
That's the movie we forgot about. Okay.
Yes. So this was the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. The one that took place, I believe that it was supposed to be a continuation from the original.
All right, let me go first.
Yeah, man.
Right where you have it, or it would go to meh. It's okay or meh. I can't say it's great.
I think okay is solid for me.
I do too.
That?
It's got some really cool scenes. The
it does
scene, but it's also got some cringy. Who they do dirty on that is Sally. Is that her name from the original Sally?
Yeah, Sally Hardesty. Yeah.
Okay. They and I was excited when I first saw, her in the barn, getting, but they didn't do it right.
It was like you didn't even need to bring her back. Like, for what?
But I almost want to watch that like tonight, like because I can watch it, man. I can watch it, and it's got some cool parts, but it's literally a solid okay for me.
Yeah,
I think May is kind of Matt is a little disrespectful, and Great is also a little disrespectful to the franchise. So yeah, okay is where I put it.
Yeah, man, I agree. And bringing Sally back, it was just so uneventful. Like you felt like they were building up for a big moment. And the fact that he stabbed her with a chainsaw and shook her around and she still had the wherewithal to, throw out the shotgun, it's just like, all right.
And I hate to keep knocking on this, because Matt's this, you know, huge lover of the '03, look and everything, but the face mask was so bland. It was just, I don't know if I'm ever going to be pleased with how he looks, but it looked awful. It was just like if you took anything and just carved eyes and a mouth in it and threw it on him. Like I thought it was bad. I thought it was bad. But not his performance. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought he was a very good Leatherface. I'm just like, did you not put like really any thought into the mask? Like,
yeah,
give us something that's like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. If there's people out there that agree with me that they need to do something with that mask, like, let me know. But it was just like skin with eyes in a hole,
they could have definitely done better. But I do want to say, sadly, got to go. On my phone battery is dying. Thanks, all the show was epic. Wayne, you take care, buddy, and thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people talking about this, in the chat. And Polar brings up a good point. He threw in a pile of garbage. Sally did deserve better than what she got. To be the returning character, and to just go out, just like that. And the fact of the matter is, we always forget to mention when she did approach him up in the room, he just walked away from her. He didn't even care about her. He didn't remember her.
No, that part I was okay with.
Yeah, it was just nothing. Like there was no.
That had an impact to me.
You felt like it was leading up to something epic between the two of them, but it was just a wash. Like, I don't know if they had to cut for time or they didn't like what they did, or I just have a hard time believing it was always their intent to bring that character back to do what they did. It's kind of
weird.
Tough.
It was weird. It was. Because I was excited.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I first saw her, like in the barn, get the phone call and everything, I was like, okay, it's going down,
Right. But I mean, if you do look at the few that came out before it, it was kind of just, right on par and a little better than, what they had done the previous, couple years. Like, yeah, it could have been better for sure. But I mean, it wasn't the worst either. Like when he gets in the back of that and breaks that cop's arm and stabs him in the neck with his own arm bone.
That was badass.
Like, that was crazy.
That was badass.
Like, I remember sitting back like, oh my God. Like he's a monster.
Yeah, that was badass.
But yeah, it was okay. I agree.
Was brutal as hell.
Sure.
It's a fun ride though, too. If you can forget about like who they do wrong, or like, if you're on, say you've never seen a Texas Chainsaw, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just want a, creepy ass thrill ride movie, then it's solid. It might even be an A+ for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, do they do Sally wrong? Absolutely. And, but yeah.
I would have kind of liked to, and somebody else mentioned this, and I honestly cannot remember who did when we talked about this movie at some point. But like the trailer, showing the bus scene, and I remember whomever said that in conversation brought up a good point. The bus scene that they showed in the trailer, like how much better would that have been, if they didn't, because when you saw the trailer for this, it kind of gave you an idea what was about to go down in that bus scene, and that's true. Like, yeah. I remember seeing that movie and being like, man, that would have been cool if that wasn't in it. That would have been cool if it wasn't in the trailer.
And I can sit here and, keep talking about stuff like that with you. Like, because we mentioned that with, Halloween Kills and stuff too. But also I want to be a realist too. Like, would they have lost? I mean, I really don't know. Would they have lost a lot of viewers if they didn't have a good trailer like that? I don't know.
I think the people that saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre were wanting to see it anyway, and I don't know if they were just like, "Oh, that bus scene is what made me want to." I mean, I could be wrong.
But
it
you know what
just,
I'm asking? Like,
I do. It just
I hate
bugs
to be
me when they
disrespectful.
show too
It
much,
bugs me too.
you
It
know.
bugs me
And
too. I just hate to hate on them if it's like, if you know, if they do show too little and they really feel the effects of that. You know, I
right,
get that too. But like, yeah, man, like if Michael wasn't behind the door and the, you know, on 2018 behind the closet, you know, I would have loved that scene, dude. But I was just waiting to see him. That sucked.
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
the fire, you know, oh, it would have been epic. Like
It's
if
true.
we had no idea what was, you know, coming out of that fire. But I don't know, man. I think
Yeah,
I think they need to show a lot less. But you know, I get they want people to come and see it, but damn.
yeah. Well, how do we feel about our tier list, everyone? Is everyone happy with what we did tonight? I think that it's a pretty good looking list. I think we did pretty good with that.
I think
With,
so too. And it was fun, guys. It was fun. A
yeah,
whole lot of fun. I love these. And I was going to say something to you backstage, but I'll just say it now, and we'll see what the you know, chat has in mind. But for some of you true horror fans, I think we should come up with one that is you know, some of the lesser knowns, man. Maybe like do 3 franchises of you know, could be Puppet Master, could be you know, get some of those lesser known franchises, you know, unless you're a true horror fan. We can get some of the, and where I even have to do my research, you know, I'm cool with that. But I think it's time for maybe something like that. You know?
yeah. So let's do this. That's actually good. Let's in the comments after the stream's over, let us know what tier list you guys would like to see next. What
Yeah.
movies would you guys like to see in a tier
That's
list?
not something we've covered, you know, not our,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Let's take a step out from Halloween and
I think that'd be
Texas
very
Chainsaw
cool.
and Scream and
Make us do
Friday,
our
I
homework,
guess.
Michael.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, seriously, if they say Puppet Master, I got a few to watch, man.
Oh, you ain't lying.
If they say, you know, what else is? I mean, there's so many. The
Phantasm.
Phantasm, you know.
Yeah.
But let's do that, man. And,
Yeah.
I'm cool with having some research to do.
Oh, speaking of which, did you end up rewatching Poltergeist 2 yet?
No,
Yeah, you need to check that out. That's
No.
a fun one.
my friend, but I will.
Yeah, that's definitely a fun one.
But
So just let us know, guys, in the chat, you know, in the comments below after the stream ends, what movies would you guys like to see in a tier list? And we'll try to round those up and count them up and see what we get and come up with something for you guys. Because these tier lists, I'm having a good time with them. I assume you're pretty much having a good time with these tier lists as well, man.
absolutely, I am.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing it up. That I think it'd be very interesting to do, you know, some things that I'm aware of, but not, you know, super keen on.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome. And we have some seriously true horror fans in this chat, man. I love it.
For sure.
Horror fans
sure.
I can learn a lot from, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but and there's so many franchises, dude. So yeah, I'd like to steer away from, you know, the franchises everybody knows so well and dig into some like true grit horror, dude, for sure. I think it's
Definitely.
intriguing, man.
Excellent.
So
All right. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight. But I do want to say a few things before we go. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, head over to Patreon, www.patreon.com/moviesandbeyond. There is a package for everyone over there. And for my Patreon members, it looks like tonight or tomorrow morning, a video will be coming out for the second to last episode of the first season of Stranger Things. That should be coming up, and be looking out this week for another episode of Real or Fake. I've actually got a pretty good one for you guys. I'm really curious to what you guys will think about this one. But Matt, again, my brother, another great show and another good time.
Yeah,
hanging out.
absolutely. And you guys let us know if on Patreon you would like to see Mad Matt's old ass dance to God, what's the song?
You talking about the song from the Breakfast Club?
The song from the Breakfast Club. If you would like me this, what's the name of the song? I'm going to put it out there.
It's slipping my head, dude.
Don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me.
If you guys would like to see my old ass dance to that in a Michael Myers mask and make a fool out of myself on Patreon, just let us know because I'll pull it together and I'll make it happen.
Oh, shit.
I did it years ago, and I'm not sure I still got the same moves, but I'm going to do my best. Love you guys, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And we'll have something for you guys next Sunday. Don't forget to leave in the comments the next tier list that you guys want to see. Throw some movies at us, some movie franchises that we can throw up here, and we can definitely make that happen for you guys. Again, Matt, great show tonight, and I'll talk to you backstage here in a minute.
All right, buddy.
And for everybody else, for sure, thanks for coming. Don't you forget about me, for sure. Anyway, we'll definitely be back next week, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll see you guys next time.
Love you guys. Peace.